Under Section 8, as you're aware, it provides how a leader of opposition is appointed or is chosen. Right now, what's happening is that the leader of opposition is not chosen by the opposition political parties, neither through consultation. The leader of opposition is selected from Kavule by some few individuals without consulting other opposition members of parliament. Now, for me and my colleagues who are seconding the motion, we feel this is not enough for purposes of ensuring accountability, value for money, and deepening democracy and multi-party political dispensation. That's why we are coming up with a motion to amend that particular provision, Section 8 of the Administration of Parliament Act, to provide how elaborately the leader of opposition has to be chosen. And that has to be an election where the opposition members of parliament, all of them participate, including the independent members of parliament. Because practically, independent members of parliament belong to the opposition, but they're never consulted. That is one. Secondly, the opposition members of parliament, the same law did not provide how all political parties are consulted when constituting the membership of the committees of parliament. What is happening now? Still people go to Kavule and elect and decide who goes on which committee of parliament. Therefore, parliament has been left outside. The leadership of parliament, members of parliament have been left outside, and parliament has been shifted to Kavule for NUP in selecting how you deploy members of parliament of the opposition to different committees. The same with the commission. The commissioner of parliament, there's no consultation from the opposition political parties when coming up with the name of the Honorable Nambeshe, who is now the commissioner who was selected. He was selected from Kavule, not from the members of parliament of the opposition here. And neither did the independents participate in that regard. Thirdly, when you're looking at the leadership of the committees, there is no consultation again with the opposition political parties when coming up with the leadership of the committees of parliament. You're going to find a very senior person like Honorable D.U.K, who does not belong to NUP, when they have made her a deputy chairperson of a committee, and a new person who has no parliamentary experience from NUP has been made a chairperson of a committee. So we feel that that is really, really not helping Ugandans and providing value for money. So the amendment is touching those particular provisions in terms of how the leader of opposition is appointed. Number two, the functions of the opposition parties regarding the composition of committees. And number three, the participation of political parties and independents in coming up with the leadership of the committees of parliament. That's what we call accountability and value for money. The second aspect of this bill is touching on the removal of the leader of opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, as you're aware, the leader of opposition of that office has a budget of about 4 billion Uganda shillings. That money is drawn from the consolidated fund. Therefore, there must be an oversight by parliament in as far as how that money is spent, whether there's value for money or not. Therefore, the office of the leader of opposition must be in the purview of accountability and oversight by members of parliament. So what happens if that member fails to execute his mandate as a leader of opposition? The current law has a lacuna. Parliament, the people who elected him, the opposition members of parliament, who selected this particular leader of opposition, cannot remove that member from being a leader of opposition. What happens? They provide only for grounds that if he's withdrawn by the political party which sponsored him, or number two, if he ceases to be a member of parliament, or if that political party which he represents no longer has membership in parliament. But is that one enough? The president of Uganda, as we speak, under the constitution and under parliament, he can be removed by parliament. You are aware. The speaker of parliament can be removed by parliament. The deputy speaker can be removed by parliament. Cabinet ministers can be removed by parliament. Even members of parliament can cease to be members of parliament under the law if they fail to attend specific number of plenaries. What about the leader of opposition who is at the level, because the law provides that he's the level of cabinet. He's like the government chief whip. What happens to that leader of opposition if he misuses the government money, if he conducts himself in a way that gives disrepute to the country and parliament? Who holds that person accountable? That's why we're coming with an amendment again on Section 8 to introduce new grounds how a leader of opposition can cease to be the leader of opposition. And those other grounds are: one, incompetence and misconduct. And how is it removed? By the same people who elected him. They are the ones, because that is now opposition. The same people who give you mandate are the same people who have the capacity to remove you. So the opposition political parties in parliament, together with the independent members of parliament, if they feel their leader is not delivering value for money, he's not accountable, he is not fulfilling the grounds provided for to be a leader of opposition, they have the right to withdraw their support and remove that person from being the leader of opposition.